everyone, it's Jamie and welcome back to my channel. I am here today for my final Stitch Mania update and also to talk about my plans for the month of June. So to start off with, I am going to show the progress that I made on the Alice in Wonderland Stitch Along by Owl Forest Embroidery. It is a free Stitch Along and they have updates every 2 weeks, and so I am trying to keep up to date on that Stitch Along. And here's where it was in my last video, and here it is now. So since my last video I had finished part 2, and part 2 is this part here with the flowers and that border, plus the bottom flowers and that border down there. And then I started part 3, which is the rabbit and then this top left corner. And I'm almost finished with part 3, except this border here is going to go all the way across the top, which is going to take forever, and I just haven't done it yet. So I am stitching this on 18 count fabric that I dyed myself, and I am stitching it using mostly sulky threads, just kind of whatever colors looked close to the colors that they had charted. But I am also using a Karen water lilies for the red in some places. And then I also added beads to the rabbit. So he has a bead for his eye, there was a bead on the clock, and then I added beads to the jacket. So there's that. I love this chart so far. It's a lot of fun and the pieces aren't too big to get done before the next part comes out, so that's been nice. So there was that, and then I had 3 new starts since my last video. The first new start was, what was it called? Crystal Palace by Mandarink Designs on Etsy, and I will insert here what it will look like when it's finished in like 1,000 years or whenever I get to actually finishing things. And here is where I got to when I was working on it. I started in the center of the chart, and I am going to backstitch as I go because I don't really like backstitching. So I want to get it done as I go so I don't have it left at the end. This is 18 count fabric that I dyed myself using neon yellow Rit dye, and then I also used a little bit of, I think, aquamarine or something to make it a little bit like greenish. And yeah, so there's where I got to on that. It is, I love this chart so much. So yeah, there's that. And that over there for now. And then my next new start was Gameboy Zelda, which was a chart by Cross Stitch Salon on Etsy, but she is now Needle Minder Layer on Etsy, but she does not have the Game Boy charts in her shop anymore, which sucks because she used to have a whole bunch. She used to have like a Spyro and a Final Fantasy one, and what else? There was a Sailor Moon one, and I really wanted that, and I was going to have like a whole Game Boy series, but now that is gone. So here's where what it will look like when it's finished. And this is where I got to. I am stitching this on plastic canvas as called for, and I am using 3 strands of thread because it's a 14 count and you want it to be like nice thick coverage. And so I am going to finish stitching. This here is all going to be this green color, and so I just need to fill in all of this, and then I'm going to save the like screen part for last because that's going to be like the fun, exciting part. And this shouldn't take that much longer to finish because it's basically already over halfway finished. So there's that. Love this. Super excited about how like quickly this is stitching up. I might actually be able to get something finished eventually, I don't know. So there was that. And then my last new start for Maynia, which was like an unexpected start because I didn't even have the chart, and then I ended up buying it like last minute and starting it like the same day, and I was just like, okay, whatever. And so I was looking for another chart to start because I kind of wanted to have one more like big Maynia start. And my sister had started the chart Sanctuary by Sheila Wolk, and it's charted by Charting Creations, and I love the colors on it, and I decided that I wanted to start it too, and so I did, and this is what it will look like when it's finished. And here is where I got to. I started from the top left on this one just because my sister started it on the bottom right, and so that way we'll be able to kind of like see different areas stitched up like at different times, and it will be like we can kind of meet. And I'm stitching this on 28 count easy count, easy guide. I don't remember what the gray gridded fabric is, I can never keep track. And I am stitching it 2/1 10 stitch, and I love it. I love the colors on this so much. Like, I don't know if you can tell, but there's a bunch of like reds and purples and stuff that are gonna be in that fairy, and like there's so much confetti, but I also just love the colors, so I don't even care that there's so much confetti. And yeah, so I love this chart so much. And that was my last Maynia start. So after Maynia, I am now at 27 whips, and I was like, that is a lot. And so I have decided that for the month of June, I am going to pull out some of my projects that are kind of like smaller and close to being finished. And like, I say smaller because like they're not that small, but they're smaller than a lot of my other projects. So they're smalls to me. So I want to pull out some of my small projects and see if I can get anything close to a finish. So I'm going to continue working on this in June and try and see if I can get this finished in June, because that would be one project that's easy to get off the list. And then I'm going to be pulling out some of my other projects. So one project that I'm going to be pulling out is Mini Home is Where the Magic Is. It's artwork by Randall Spangler and charted by Hade. I will insert here what it will look like when it's finished. And this is where I am right now. I only have 20,000 stitches left, which, I mean, it sounds like a lot, but for a Hade, that's not that many stitches like to be left in a project. And so I want to see how much I can get done on this month and try and get this close to a finish, because I really want this to be a finished project before Christmas so it can be hanging on the walls. So there was that. One project just fell. Another project that I'm going to be pulling out is this one, the Lunar Princess Stitch Along by Sleeping Luna Designs. This was a stitch along that I started last year. I got behind and I hadn't worked on it in a long time, so I'm pulling it back out. This is where I am on it now. So I need to finish filling in this outer ring, and then inside here is going to be a moon and then a rose, and then it's completely filled in with yellow inside. So there's still quite a bit of stitching left to do on this, but I want to see how far I can get on that. This is a 28 count fabric that I dyed myself, because that is, I don't know, I just dye fabric randomly whenever I want to see what will happen. And I'm stitching it 2/2 full cross. So there's that. And then I will be pulling out Nightmare Before Christmas, which was a chart from Etsy. I don't remember what shop I bought it from, but I will have it linked down below if I can find it. And this is where I am on this right now. I am stitching this on an 18 count fabric that I dyed, and I am no, this isn't 18, this is 22 count fabric, and I think that's part of why I haven't stitched on it that much, is I don't really like 22 count that much. And I am doing 2 strands over 1 full cross, and so it's kind of thick. I don't really like it when things are super thick on 22 count, but yeah, so there's that. I do love it, and I do want to see it finished, and it shouldn't take that long to get it finished. And then the last thing that I will be pulling out is a chart with Zelda and Link, and it says it's dangerous to go alone, I think. And it is from Unique Door Sign on Etsy. And this is where I am on it right now. I will make sure that I insert pictures of what these things will look like when they're finished, so that you can see that too. And this is being stitched on 40 count fabric, 1/2 full cross. And yeah. So I basically need to fill in the rest of Zelda and then stitch all of Link and then the words. So, but I'm hoping that I can make some good progress on some of those charts, get at least one thing finished. I mean, that Gameboy Zelda should be easy to get finished, and then try and make progress on other things so I can get some whips off of my list, because I do want to make a whip parade video, but if I can get some things finished before then, that would be great, so it's not 27 whips. Maybe it would only be 25 whips. I don't know. That's still a lot. Anyways, thank you everyone for watching, liking, commenting, and subscribing. And I will hopefully be making an update video sometime in the next couple weeks in June to show the progress that I've made on my smalls.